is frankly the work of a very visionary leader of this institution. It's my pleasure now to introduce to you the 8th president of Hofstra University, Stuart Rabinowitz.
But most importantly, what has remained constant is that Hofstra student body remains as some of the very brightest, most altruistic, and most civically engaged of college students in America. You cannot spend a lot of time with our students, even in light of all the challenges that lie ahead, without having confidence in America's future.
They're awaiting your questions. Thank you all. Enjoy tonight. And I will see you on the other end of the hour. Thanks. Good evening from Hofstra University in Hempstead, New York. I'm Candy Crowley from CNN State of the Union. We are here for the second presidential debate at Town Hall, sponsored by the Commission on Presidential Debates. Welcome President Barack Obama and Governor Mitt Romney.
Mr. President, Governor Romney, as a 20-year-old college student, all I hear from professors, neighbors, and others is that when I graduate, I will have little chance to get employment. What can you say to reassure me, but more importantly, my parents, that I will be able to sufficiently support myself after I graduate?
Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate your question, and thank you for being here this evening, and to all of those from Nassau County here that have come, thank you for your time. Thank you to Hofstra University. Your question is one that's being asked by college kids all over this country. I was in Pennsylvania with someone who just graduated. This was in Philadelphia, and she said, I've got my degree, I can't find a job. I've got 3 part-time jobs. They're just barely enough to pay for my food and pay for an apartment. I can't begin to pay back my student loans. So what we have to do is 2 things. We have to make sure that we make it easier for kids to afford college, and also make sure that when they get out of college, there's a job.
Mr. President.
Jeremy, first of all, your future is bright. And the fact that you're making an investment in higher education is critical, not just to you, but to the entire nation. Now, the most important thing we can do is to make sure that we are creating jobs in this country, but not just jobs, good paying jobs, ones that can support a family. And what I want to do is build on the 5 million jobs that we've created over the last 30 months in the private sector alone. And there are a bunch of things that we can do to make sure your future is bright. Number 1, I want to build manufacturing jobs in this country again.
The $5 trillion cut. Well, no, it's not.
She never got college education, even though she was smart as a whip. And how are you going to do it? Which deductions? Which loopholes are you going to close? He can't tell you.
I'm not looking to cut taxes for wealthy people. I am looking to cut taxes for middle-income people.
It's interesting, we've had a lot of discussion in the past couple weeks about, and particularly this week, about whether in a town hall format with undecided voters, you could have a real debate about the issues. And I think first and foremost, you got to address the concerns of those undecided voters. Those are the most important people they're asking those questions.
How do you think Hofstra did tonight with its second presidential debate?
Look, I was actually here a week ago for an event. I think I've now been here for 2 different presidential events. I think they do a great job. It's highly professional. I think there's a reason why the commission picked it the first time, and I think there's a reason why the commission came back, because they understand Hofstra does a great job, not in just studying the president, but in putting on the logistics that are required to pull off an event this size, and that's impressive.
Listen, this would be a case closed. This is a done deal.
What advice do you have for students interested in getting involved in politics?
Well, I would say that you have to work hard, you have to keep your head down, you have to know the goals that you're trying to achieve, and try to win every day. I would say to get involved early, get involved on the ground. And I think volunteering is great, and learning as much as you can. I would say reading is important as well. But the students here have been great. The university has been fantastic to us. It's a wonderful facility. We're totally blessed to be here, and I want to thank everyone at Hofstra for putting it on.
Thank you.
You bet.
So what happened today, sir?
I think the president showed that he's determined, he's a fighter, and he has a mission and a vision and facts.
I got it. I went to St. Pius X in Uniondale, right nearby. So this is like coming home for me. And I live about a half hour away. So Hofstra University did a great job, just like last time. We're very proud of you, Hofstra. It puts New York, Long Island on the map, and it couldn't have been a better debate.
Well, I think they did everything they possibly could do to make it probably an even better experience than last time around, so that would be commended. You know, this is a very disruptive process. I mean, basically turn your campus over to the Secret Service and everybody else. And the only way you can organize something like this is the administration, the faculty, and the students have to be very tolerant and very patient. So kudos to the university, the students, and the faculty. They hosted a very interesting, competitive exchange between the president and the governor. They had to feel very proud of this. I think it went off very well.
I think Governor Romney's going to do very, very well tonight because he will be able to speak directly to the American people.
Opportunity for Hofstra students to get involved in the political process. What kind of advice would you give to them?
Well, a couple things. One, I want to thank y'all, first of all, for allowing us to be on the campus. I know there are a lot of disruptions to students, faculty, and staff, and a lot of logistical issues. Thank you for having us. It's a great privilege to be on the beautiful campus, my first time being up here. Secondly, I think I would encourage every student to get involved. I'm obviously supporting Governor Romney. I went to Brown University. I was the head of the College Republicans, helped to reestablish there when I was there, got involved at the state level as well. I knocked on doors, gave out bumper stickers, and got involved. We had a presidential election when I was a first-year student. So I'd encourage every student, whoever you're voting for, whoever you're supporting, even if you're not supporting Governor Romney, get involved. Learn about the issues, go register to vote, volunteer. One of the most important things you can do is just to show up. And there's so much you can learn as a young person on a campaign. They're literally, I mean, you can go from knocking on doors one day to helping with policy in the future. So absolutely encourage students to get involved. It's never too early. These issues impact students. This election impacts students. When you think about it, it's their future.
Okay, so they didn't ask you.
This is a monumental moment to have a debate in these challenging times, and probably the most important election in the last 2 decades, to have it right here at Hofstra University, right here in my county, Nassau County, allowing Nassau County residents and Nassau County students to present the two candidates with issues affecting our county. There can be nothing more important and more useful than to make our decision on who we're going to vote for than the responses to the questions that affect us the most right here in Nassau County. It's excellent.
What we need are jobs. We need confidence in the business community, particularly the small business community, that they can invest and take risks and hire people. And that's what I think the Romney-Ryan plan is all about.
We've got to stop politicizing it. You know, it's sad that the other side continues to politicize what is a terrible tragedy. You know, the president, the vice president, the secretary of state are working hard, investigating, getting to the bottom of how that act occurred.
So this is the second time that Hofstra got a presidential debate. What does that make you think of our university?
Well, I feel real good. You know, the first time I helped lobby for it and try to get it. The second time I didn't have to lift a finger. Hofstra did such a good job, they wanted to come back. So it was great. And this is going to be, Hofstra is, you know, 20 years ago it was a nice Long Island institution. Now it's a world-class institution, and the debate makes that happen. So we're all proud of Hofstra. And as a New Yorker, I don't get to see a single commercial when I'm here in New York. None of the candidates come here except to raise money. Now we're part of it. So this is great. They're making up for not showing any commercials here, not campaigning here. This makes up for it pretty well.
What kind of opportunity does it present for the students?
Well, it's a great opportunity. From what I'm told, more than half the students applied to get tickets, and that's thousands and thousands. Of course, only a small number could get them, but that's great. That's just great for the students. It's great for Long Island.
I think it was good that we had the debate here, and I hope more New Yorkers tuned in because of it.
How do you think Hofstra did hosting the debate tonight? How do you think Hofstra did hosting the debate tonight?
Hofstra did great. There was one really clear winner, was Hofstra. After, right? It was so the question is really who came in second after Hofstra University and President Rabinowitz. And I think the president on the stage, President Obama won the debate, but Hofstra won the night.
So how did you think Hofstra University did holding a presidential debate for the second time?
The university did a great job. It was a pleasure to be here. Everything was not only easy to do and easy to get around here physically, but it just came off very well. It was well managed, looked great on air, and I think it was a really substantive, successful debate. I mean, people learned a lot.
Lindsay McKinnon, upstate New York.
So tell us about your experience tonight.
Well, tonight I started out this morning as a credentialing volunteer. I got moved to an usher in the debate hall and ended up in floor seats watching the debate as an audience member.
How did that all happen?
Well, we got asked last night if we wanted to be a debate usher, and of course we jumped at the opportunity. And then the CPD was awesome and said as soon as everyone was seated, we could have seats. We started out with seats up at the very top of the auditorium or arena, and people were in our seats. And so we walked down and we just simply said, like, it's fine, we'll just stand. Like, the show had already started. And so they, acted on it and brought us down to the floor, and me and 2 other girls were granted with floor seats.
What was the coolest part about watching it from down there?
Just the people that were surrounding us, you could tell were just of such high class and so involved with politics, and being that close and personal, I didn't have to use Zoom on my camera, and it was just so exciting to be down there.
What did you take away from what both Governor Romney and President Obama had to say as a student?
I think that they both made very valid points, and it was very intense. At times, I had my section laughing and kind of gasping at responses, and it was just cool to kind of see how everyone in my section reacted to what questions were being answered.
What advice do you have for students
interested in getting involved in politics?
Do it. Just find a way. Because the most exciting thing I did, and I did it when I was about their age, was I took 6 months off and worked for none other than Richard Nixon. And what I found was you go to work in the day, and we're just interns, and what's everyone talking about? What's on the front page? What happened yesterday? Did you see what Congressman so-and-so? Can you believe that happened, or so-and-so said this? Did you see the polls? Every week you'd wait for the primaries to come. It was a new life. It was so invigorating and exciting. And I thought, my golly, this is something you can do. This is something you get up in the morning, you want to go to work.
Hi, I'm Mina Bose. I'm director of the Peter S. Calico Center for the Study of the American Presidency at Hofstra University.
It was an incredible experience. Being in the debate hall, to just hear the candidates directly and to kind of feel the energy in the room. And there was energy. The president got 3 laugh lines, not planned, I think, but one where he just said he was looking forward to the next question, the comment about the pensions, and then the gas prices, the second question. So the president definitely seemed to be enjoying himself. He seemed comfortable. Governor Romney seemed to, he didn't have any major problems, but I think his efforts to try to kind of control the timing weren't as effective as they were in Denver.
Now, you've worked very closely with the students here at Hofstra. How much more involved have they been in this whole political process, having a debate here, from what you think?
Well, they've certainly been engaged in it. Students are following the news. They're keeping up on what's happening. There have been students all over campus today. I pretty much haven't been able to turn a corner without seeing not just any students, but my students around and other students, and I'm meeting so many students. I think it's energized our students and Hofstra in a way that I think and I hope will have a lasting effect.
Great.
One more. Okay. He's very dedicated. I'm very